Ali's death, Gi-hun sacrificing himself, Jim-ja's emotional breakdown after losing her son. Squid Game left us with some of the most heartbreaking moments in TV history, each one more devastating than the last, constantly chipping away at our hearts. In today's video, we'll be going over the most emotional and gut-wrenching scenes from this amazing series. But before we dive into our top 10, I want to give some honorable mentions, scenes that might not have involved the death of a major character, but still deserve to be remembered. These moments often get overlooked, and I think they're just as powerful in their own way. Our first bonus moment comes from the marble game. Right after the rules are explained, the players realize they're not playing with their chosen partners, but against them. That twist hit me like a wrecking ball. I don't know about you, but when I first watched it, I was excited to see what game was next, only to be completely blindsided. Just look at the expressions on the players' faces. They teamed up with their closest friends, thinking it would give them the best chance to survive, only to be told they had to eliminate each other. And the husband and wife duo. Absolutely crushing. I didn't see that coming, and the weight of that twist stayed with me long after the episode ended. Next, we have a quiet but painful moment from Season 2, Episode 2, when Gi-hun calls his daughter. She picks up, speaks in English, and after not getting any answer, she asked in Korean, "Father?" That one word, "Appa," completely broke me. Despite all the years of absence, Ga-young still holds out hope that her dad might be there for her. And what's even more heartbreaking is the fact that this ends up being the last time Gi-hun gets the chance to speak with her. And he doesn't say anything. That silence says everything. Now, starting our actual top 10, we have one of the most powerful scenes in Season 3, the moment when Gi-um-ja stabs her own son in the back to stop him from killing Jun-hee's baby. There's not much more I can say that the scene didn't already say for itself. The intensity could be felt through the screen. The way mother and son look at each other as the clock hits 0, pure cinematic mastery. Kang Ae-shim's acting here is absolutely top tier. The scene is layered with emotion. A mother willing to die so her son could live. A son on the verge of committing an unforgivable act. And then the tragic climax. Geum-ja's instinctual reaction to stop her child. And honestly, I don't know what's sadder. The fact that she stabbed her son. Or the devastating realization that the stab wasn't what killed Young-sik. She knew in that moment that her son was going to die in the next few moments. Heartbreaking. Coming in at number 9 is Jun-hee's death. It was tragic, no doubt, but part of the reason she ranks lower on this list is that her death felt somewhat expected. Her character arc revolved around her pregnancy, and once she gave birth, that story reached its emotional peak. When she fractured her ankle, her fate was basically sealed, especially since the trailer already hinted that the next game would involve jump rope. Still, the way she waited for her newborn to be safely passed to the other side before sacrificing herself, that was powerful. And the fact that she chose to throw herself off the platform rather than be shot by a guard shows immense strength. It was a sad moment, but not quite as impactful as some of the others. Next, at number 8, we have the death of one of my favorite characters, Hyunju. Man, that one really hurt. She was the MVP of the hide-and-seek game, protecting both Geum-ja and Jun-hee, and making sure Jun-hee could give birth safely. She fought every red player they encountered, and despite being outnumbered and outarmed, she won every single time. But what makes her death so heartbreaking is her decision to go back for Jun-hee and Geum-ja after she found the exit. That selfless act cost her everything. And the way she died? Stabbed in the back. She didn't even see it coming. It's tragically ironic. After surviving so many face-to-face battles, she was killed by a sneak attack. And to make things even worse, the one who delivered the final blow was Myung-gi. After everything she did to help Jun-hee give birth, Myung-gi's thank you was a knife in her back. That betrayal hit hard. Absolutely devastating. The 7th spot goes to Se-byok's death, and the painful realization that Sang-woo is capable of doing anything to win. Out of all the deaths in Squid Game, Sabyok's feels like the most unfair. Even now, I still don't understand why the glass bridge had to explode when the timer ran out. She completed the challenge. She reached the final platform. And yet, she was mortally wounded after clearing the game. What makes it even more heartbreaking is what happened before she was killed. What is even more tragic is that Gi-hun was ready to kill Song-woo himself, but Sabyok stopped him. She reminded him that he's not that kind of person. In her final moments, she still protected Gi-hun from crossing a moral line, and we see just how deeply she influenced him, especially in Season 3, when Gi-hun hallucinates her image before he's about to kill again. Even in death, Sabyok remains his moral compass. Her death wasn't just a loss for the show, it was a turning point that changed Gi-hun forever. Now for the sixth most heartbreaking moment, and I know some of you might think I've ranked this one too low, but hear me out. It's Gi-hun sacrificing himself for the baby. On paper, this is the emotional climax of the series, and yet, because of how things played out in the lead-up, the ending felt inevitable. Once Myung-gi pushed player 100 off the platform and player 39 took his own life, it was clear how this would end. I knew even before the final episode started, Gi-hun would be the one to make the ultimate sacrifice so the baby could survive. Now don't get me wrong, I still had a sliver of hope that Myung-gi would redeem himself, that maybe he'd finally put his child first. But instead, we got the opposite. His final act only cemented how far gone he truly was. Still, as tragic as it was, I genuinely believe this was the perfect ending for Gi-hun. After everything he'd been through, I don't think he could truly go back to the real world. Maybe a reunion with his daughter would have helped him cope. But after 4 years of non-stop death, trauma, and betrayal, could he really ever find peace? In that sense, his sacrifice was not just noble, it was merciful. And that final line from Gi-hun? Pure cinematic poetry. Moving on to number 5, Jumja's death. This one absolutely shattered me. It was one of the most unexpected deaths in the season finale. Not because we didn't think she could die, but because of how it happened. I genuinely didn't expect her to take her own life, especially after her emotional conversation with Gi-hun and Hwang's earlier comments about not repeating motifs from season 1. I thought her death would come during the 5th game, but instead, the grief of losing her son was too much for her to carry for even one more night. She had helped Junhee give birth. She had made Gi-hun promise to protect the baby, and in her mind, she had made peace with her role in everything. Even though her death had been foreshadowed since season 2, it still hurt deeply. There's one scene that stands out to me. Right after Yongsik voted to continue the game, Jumja told him, "If you were to die, I'd have nothing to live for anymore." And later, during the next vote, she added, "If you pull that stupid shit this time around, I swear to God, I'm gonna hang myself right here." Those weren't just emotional outbursts. They became a heartbreaking prophecy, one that came true in the finale. If someone tells you this next death didn't stir any emotion, they're lying. Trust me, I'm talking about the moment Gi-hun returns home after winning the Squid Game, only to find his mother dead. I broke down crying the first time I saw that scene, just imagining the pain she must have felt, dying alone in the dark, thinking her son had abandoned her. Absolutely shattered me. What must have gone through her mind in those final moments? It's the kind of heartbreak that stays with you. And then there's Gi-hun. After witnessing Sae-byok's murder, after being betrayed by his childhood friend, after watching 453 people die, he somehow survives it all, only to come home to this. He finally has the money. He can now achieve every dream he ever had. But there's no one left to share it with. His mother is gone. His daughter has moved to another country. And so, it's no surprise that instead of celebrating, Gi-hun sinks into a deep depression. That final, silent breakdown speaks louder than any scream could. We now enter the top 3. The bronze medal of heartbreak goes to Min-soo's death. I don't know why it hit me so hard, but it did. His final moments were absolutely devastating. The guilt, the pain, the overwhelming remorse, it completely consumed him. From the start, I always saw Min-soo as the most relatable character in the show. He wasn't a hero, he wasn't a villain, he didn't have some amazing skill. He was just a regular person trying to survive. He took the bullying, played it safe, and did whatever he could to live another day. And even after taking the drug, a drug that pushed Thanos and Namgyu into a violent frenzy, Min-soo didn't lash out. Instead, he was overwhelmed with guilt. He didn't regret not killing people. He regretted not helping. That says everything about who he was, and the way he apologized to Seimi, reaching out to take her hand before the end. You just knew this was the weight he had carried with him all along. It was the most human death in the entire series, and it absolutely crushed me. At number 2, we have Ollie's death. What a gut punch. I felt everything in that moment. Rage, sadness, betrayal. Even now, it's hard to find the words. Ollie's realization that Sang-woo had tricked him wasn't just heartbreaking, it was soul-crushing. Just 3 episodes earlier, Sang-woo had helped him with money. He trusted him. And that trust is what killed him. Ollie's heart was pure. That's what made it hurt the most. He didn't deserve that end. He deserved better. And what's even sadder is that Gi-hun never found out the truth. He thought Ollie simply lost the game. Let me know in the comments, if Gi-hun had learned how Sang-woo betrayed Ollie like that, do you think he still would have held back from killing him? And finally, my pick for the saddest moment in all of Squid Game, Ji-yeon's death. The reason I put her above Ollie is simple. She chose to die. In a game where everyone is out for themselves, she made the most selfless decision imaginable. She gave up her life so that Se-byuk could live. In a world filled with cruelty, she was a beacon of light. Her tragic backstory only made it worse. The abuse from her father, who was supposed to protect her, a priest no less, left her feeling like she had nothing left to live for. And when she said, "Even if I get out, I have nowhere to go," it broke me. She didn't just die, she found peace. She is the only character from Squid Game who died smiling. And that, "Thank you for playing with me." I couldn't hold it in. I sobbed like a child. No matter how intense or tragic Season 2 and 3 got, nothing ever came close to the emotional weight Season 1 delivered. And with that, we wrap up our list of the top 10 most heartbreaking scenes in the Squid Game universe. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know in the comments, which death broke you the most?